Redo of Healer, Yujika Naruakin, Don Negan, and Rooftop Storemaster. These 4 comics have something in common. They are edgy as hell. So in this video, I'll be reading 15 chapters each and rank them on who's the edgiest at the end of this video. Redo of Healer. So the story kicks off with Kyoto managing to rewind time by 4 years. With this second chance, he's all set on getting revenge. He knows he'll meet Freya in about 5 days, so he heads into the forest to train, which basically means eating poison mushrooms to build immunity, chatting with the forest goddess to get the Eye of Truth, and leveling up his healing powers. I'm saying train loosely here because none of it seems relevant once he gets to the castle. Anyway, by around chapter 5, he attempts a prison escape and ends up defeating Freya by upgrading her. Weird way to defeat someone, but I digress. After that, he grabs some gold and escapes. After chapter 6 though, the story starts wandering off into a bunch of side plots. The main premise is supposed to be his revenge on the heroes who mistreated him, but there were like 3 different detours that feel more like filler arcs. And honestly, there were so many sex scenes that feels less like a revenge story and more like I accidentally picked up a hentai. Overall, I wouldn't really recommend this manga if you're looking for a solid revenge plot. If you want a hero turn villain type of story done better, I point you towards Revenge of the Teapot Hero and the hero who seeks revenge shall exterminate with darkness. Jujutsu no Rokunin. So the story kicks off with Uruma, who gets constantly bullied by Kugodachi, Usho Yuga, Makoto Hiro, Senkoji, and the ringleader Shikaku Kyo. So after non-stop harassment, like the bullies killing Uruma's adopted kitten, and then murdering his parents when they heard he was transferring schools, Uruma ends up moving in with his grandpa. So after his grandpa stores his hunting rifle in the warehouse, Uruma grabs the rifle with revenge on his mind. When his grandpa catches him with the gun and hears his motive, he doesn't stop him. Instead, he helps. He teaches Uruma the Kitsuyama core techniques. 4 years go by, and Uruma finally starts his path of revenge. So I do like the art style, it really knows the dread the story is going for, but that's honestly where my praise stops. Most of the villains are super one-dimensional, basically evil because evil, with no personality outside the awful things they do. But I don't mind evil villains. I love characters like Dio, Sukuna, and Jack Horner because of evil. And this would be my hot take, but I don't think every villain needs a tragic backstory. My issue is that the manga tries too hard to be realistic with its dark themes. There's nothing wrong with manga, or any media in general, tackling heavy topics. All it comes down to is execution. And I'm just gonna say right here, I definitely lost interest in the bullies at the beginning of the chapter. So as Uruma runs into the forest to save the kitten, Makoto asks Kyo why he bullies Uruma. Shikaku replies with a question. For a person, what do you think the most amazing thing they can do is? His answer was to kill a person. I will be the first. A person who grew up with a loving and welcoming family, blessed with friends, no reason, no desire, to kill like that. You see what I mean? This is why I don't take these guys seriously. If you want a story where the main character loses family and returns years later for revenge, but done better, I recommend At Night at Move. Rooftop Swordmaster. The story opens with Seiyong being arrested in the hospital, covered in bruises from excessive bullying. He ends up in a coma for 9 months, and his aunt fills him in on everything that happened while he was out. His parents have been fighting for justice, pushing for the bullies to be jailed for nearly killing their son, but nobody listened because the bullies came from rich families with big connections. So as a last resort, his parents set themselves on fire as a form of protest. At first, I thought the author was just trying to be edgy, but nope. Self-immolation is a real form of protest in some Asian cultures. So after this protest, the bullies got sent to juvenile detention. So in the next chapter, Seiyong is out of the hospital, but honestly, nothing much happens. He scrolls through news articles and I think he's reading the bullies' text through an app? I'm not completely sure. Then out of nowhere, the sword falls from the sky onto the rooftop and scares the hell out of him. The story suddenly shifts to him trying to get the sword unstuck. He tries baptizing it, pinning it with random stuff, nothing works. So he tries lifting it, and flames shoot out from the ground and gets blasted with the spiritual energy of the warrior who used to wield the sword. So after that, the sword finally budges and he jumps into a training arc that lasts around 4 chapters. A year goes by and the bullies got released from juvie, and immediately, Jung asks Chang if he knows where Seiyong is. Shingon said yes, and Jun decided to send Yakuza at his house. So yeah, now we have Mafia in the story for some reason. Anyway, after chapter 11, the dialogue is pretty rough. The constant swearing feels over the top, which honestly pulled me out of the story. There was also heavy use of 3D assets and random PNG effects that was also pretty jarring. I get that making a comic is time consuming, but it still feels off. This is my pure speculation, but I think that Suyon is going to one-shot every bully from here on out because I highly doubt anyone else in this world has powers. So if I had to recommend an alternative, I highly go with The Bad Son or Return of the Bloodthirsty Police instead. Dog Negan. The story kicks off with Rex's messed up origin. He was born from a drunk guy forcing himself on a female dog, and the dog died giving birth to him. Because of the whole situation, Rex grows up as an outcast. Eventually, he decides he's going to track down his father and... yeah, that's his motive. Questionable motive aside, the manga has some solid fight scenes, surprisingly heartfelt moments, and genuinely funny dialogue. And the rough art style reminds me of the One Punch Man webcomic, but in a good way. If you're looking for a good shonen manga, I would totally recommend this to you. Okay, now time for the rankings. So 4th place goes to Dog Negan. It's not edgy, I totally recommend if you like shonen manga. Reader of Healer is 3rd place. It's not edgy, it's completely degenerate, excessive sex scenes, too many side plots, and unlikable main character. 2nd place goes to Rooftop Swordmaster. Edgy, pretty dialogue, boring villains, and a boring revenge plot in my humble opinion. 1st place goes to Jutsu no Rokunin. Edgy, boring villains, and excessive amounts of violence and rape scenes. And that's the end of the video. Let me know in the comments if you agree with my opinion.